I woke up the next morning with Zoolander next to me staring.
I looked at him and smiled, and he licked my cheek.
Yeah, okay. What's wrong?
I asked, and he bounced off, and I followed.
He ran off into the bushes and then ran out chasing a lizard.
I laughed and sat down underneath under a tree and pulled out my diary.
Oh, Lord. Dear diary. It's a new day for me, and the men Dad had coming after me are gone. How do you know that? Okay.
Again, we're thinking.
I know, I'm sorry. Hey, she broke up some of the paragraphs, though.
Yeah, she did.
Hooray. Growth.
Growth. They have no idea I am here, but I won't be safe for long.
I'll need to move and find somewhere else to stay. Stay hid, though, otherwise Dad will eventually find me.
I'll head off once Shakira and Fetus wake up.
I need to find somewhere safe to stay.
It'll be nice to be back in the forest, but it's not going to be safe forever.
I sighed, leaning my head against the tree.
Zoolander came over and nuzzled under my hand.
I patted his head, smiling.
I then felt something watching me, and I turned my head to see Fetus walking over.
He sat down on my feet and watched the surroundings.
I wasn't sure if he trusted me or not, as he never met me.
Shakira then came out and I hugged her neck.
I'm heading off, Shakira.
She looked up at me as if she understood me.
I headed off, and she ran after me with Fetus and Zoolander following.
Shakira, you need to stay here,
I said, and she looked at me and stood next to me.
I smiled, seeing the fact that she wanted to protect me.
I headed off towards the city.
If I went to the city, there would be less of a chance that my dad would try and follow me. Okay. You say so.
That's where you're wrong there, kitty. I mean,
right?
Not kitty. Fuck. I got to the city and walked down the streets, and people looked at me strangely.
I guessed it was because I had 3 wolves following me. I thought the wolves stayed behind. Clearly not. Okay.
I was walking around for 2 hours before Zoo started to wear out, so I looked for a place to rest. I
found a park and went in and sat down and pulled out my diary and opened it up again. Oh, Jesus.
Dear diary. Well, I left the forest, but Shakira wanted to follow.
I'm happy she decided to follow, as I really didn't want to leave her alone again.
I missed her so much since I left her.
It's funny. It seems like I only left her yesterday, but it's been years.
It's like my life in between all this never even happened. But that's probably because I lost my memory. And the fact that I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, right? Oh, crap. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I totally lost my thought. Oh, there it is. Okay. I have a feeling thought that I'm being followed.
Are you a feeling
You're feeling
thought?
the thought? You're feeling your thoughts? All right.
If she breathes, she's a thought.
Right?
Oh, I'm so glad you know that meme. I looked up from my diary as I heard growling.
I looked up and there was a guy standing there with a sword on his belt.
I swallowed and he glared at me.
He drew his sword and Fetus leaped at him, pulling him to the ground.
He growled at him, baring his teeth fiercely, and the other guy tossed him off.
I got up and the guy slashed at me but missed.
And I fired, and I missed, And I missed. Thought I hit something, but it turns out I missed.
No.
I
'Tis
screamed.
but a flesh wound. What?
Monty Python. I screamed and ran off, followed by the 3 wolves, then the guy with the sword.
I was worried that one of my dad's that it was one of my dad's men.
I didn't realize that someone was watching, though.
Fletch's POV. Fletch, you must get stronger. Her father is a powerful, strong man. You must practice and get much. You must practice much and get stronger. Stop saying stronger, Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Practice throwing some punches so that I may see how strong you are.
I nodded and went and did as he asked.
You're a strong man. You can get stronger, though.
Okay!
How long will that take?
Not long if you practice many times a day.
If you want, you may continue.
I smiled and continued.
Press any button to continue.
Right?
I've been in there for 3 hours practicing.
I was tired, but the thought of Tyne being in her father's hands made me more determined. I was doing weightlifting when Susan ran in.
Fletch, there you are. I've been looking for you everywhere.
What's up?
There's something you're going to want to see.
She sounded a bit distressed and she ran out, and I followed.
We ran outside and Kyron was running along some roofs, and she looked at me.
We need to follow him. He said we have to.
I pulled mine on and we jumped onto the roof and ran after him.
He stopped onto... He stepped... I don't know. He stopped onto of a big building and looked down into the park.
Crayon, what's wrong?
Look down there.
I heard a
He
scream
said,
and looked down to see a girl running off, being followed by three wolves and a guy with a sword.
Tyne!
She's being chased by 5 wolves
and that guy?
Jinx.
Those wolves are her friends, but that man isn't.
Fletcher, you mustn't go after her.
I have to. I can't lose her.
Santa Ana sighed and followed after me, and Crayon watched.
I jumped off the rooftops and down to the path and grabbed a guy by the shirt and pulled him away from Tyne.
Tyne stopped a bit and watched as I dealt with him, only she didn't know who I was, as I wasn't gonna let her know till later.
I punched the guy hard, causing him to bleed.
I hit him 3 more times and he fell to the ground bleeding badly.
I pulled my sword out, pulling him up and cutting his throat badly before dropping him. As opposed to not badly. As opposed to, like, nicking his throat.
He lay there dead and I glanced over at Tyne.
It was hard not to just take her back with me, but I had to wait.
Bro, fuck Crayon. Take her.
Right?
I then ran off and met Syracuse County, leaving Tyne behind.
Shaniqua looked up at me.
Hashtag Shaquana stole my shawarma. What has this story done to us?
I don't know. Made us lost our minds a little.
Oh yeah, that's me. It must have been hard.
Not really. The guy didn't know what hit him.
Not that, leaving Tyne.
Oh. Yeah.
I wasn't I wasn't to let Ty know who I was after her, as it was all part of the plan.
We had to let Khaleesi have time so that we could find the new building he was in.
Oh my fucking god, you guys are assholes.
What?
Save her!
Right? Just save her already.
Because plot. The last one
Because plot. I think anytime we have a question, I think the answer is because plot.
The last one was destroyed, but without him getting time, we had to... Oh, yeah, that's you. Sorry.
No, I wasn't to let Ty know. That was your line.
Oh.
Wait,
yeah, I already read it.
You already read it?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
no.
The last one was destroyed is your line.
Yeah, the last one was destroyed, but without him getting time, we had no way to find it.
But there should have been a comma there. But we had to make sure they wouldn't try and kill Tyne before getting to her father, like that guy was.
I got up onto a roof and ran silently along it with Shaquana following.
We got back to Chiron and he was smiling.
You did a good job there, and the right thing was to leave her.
Thanks.
She then picked up the smallest wolf and carried him away with the other two following.
I sighed and Shaniqua hugged me.
It's okay! You'll get her soon.
She was right. I just wanted Tyne now.
Fuck these guys.
Fuck everyone. Pieces of garbage. All of them.
Fucking assholes. Oh yeah, so, another thing I forgot to tell you, because...
Oh no.
Actually, you know what? I may say this is a surprise, because, a certain part of myself is in this story.
Okay.
And it becomes a recurring thing in the other stories. But not gonna say what it is.
Okay.
Just be surprised.
Okay.
Tyne's point of view. I stood there looking at the guy on the ground dead.
I looked up and the person looked in my direction before running off.
I couldn't believe it.
I wonder if he was one of my dad's men who were trying to make it look like he wanted to protect me, or if he was one of my father's trained assassins from when I was little and they just recognized me.
I was so confused as to who they were. So were we.
Right? I picked up Zoe and I walked off.
I walked for a bit and Zoo got his energy back, so I put him down and pulled out my diary.
Dear diary. Well, I found out that there was a guy after me. Comma. Not period.
He had a sword and he wasn't the nicest looking person.
Like, okay. I didn't know what to do, so I ran off.
I thought I was dead, but then someone jumped down and punched the guy 4 times, causing him to bleed badly.
He then cut his throat and he just bled to death.
Officer, I have no idea what happened.
Let me just write all about this in my diary.
His innards became outers. It was a miracle. I have no idea who he was, but I think either a man that my dad sent to get me, but then sent another one to kill him, so it looks like he was trying to protect me. Or maybe he was one of the boys my father trained when I was with him, and he just recognized me as...
What? You just said that, Tyne. You just thought that.
You just said that. Fuck you.
Like, she literally just said that 3 sentences ago.
I'm not reading the rest of that
5
sentence.
sentences ago.
I'm not reading the rest of that sentence. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, because we've already read that.
Yeah.
Seriously, 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences ago, 5 sentences ago. What? That's the don't like. It's like you could have just saved that for the diary entry. Okay. I don't know, but it's not safe in the city.
I'll have to go elsewhere.
I shut my diary and put it away and ran off towards the docks.
I arrived and there were boats there and some men on it.
They had the same logo on their shirts as the man who kidnapped me did, and I realized that they were my dad's men.
I snuck on board with the wolves and made my way to a room.
There were weapons there, and I pulled out 2 swords.
I then pulled on a cape and ran out and pulled a guard back, cutting his chest badly.
I dropped him, and 3 others ran down.
I slashed my swords down one of the men's neck and then cut his stomach and he fell down. Stop! He's already dead!
Right?
You're just beating a dead horse at this point.
When did she get trained in sword uses?
I don't know.
Oh, Lord. I looked down at the other 2 and stabbed one, and I glared at the other one.
You're a
stabby,
traitor!
Glare.
Stab, stab.
Glare. I ducked, and then his sword with mine.
Same though. I grabbed his sword and punched him hard.
I pushed him against the wall, holding his throat, and I glared at him.
How many are on this ship?
Just 2 more.
You sound like Tatooine.
That's me.
Unfortunately, you can't warn them about me.
I said, and I stabbed him in the heart.
I dropped him and ran up to eliminate the other 2. I then sailed off into the big world. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Lost again, son of a bitch.
Oh, Lord. I set off wondering where I could go that would be safe.
I figured land wouldn't be, but the sea was probably the safest I could get at the moment. You sure about that?
Right?
The Saboli pirates would like to know your location.
Right. I wasn't sure why, but when I killed those men, I actually enjoyed it.
It intrigued me a bit as to why I would.
I shrugged it off and kept my mind on the sea.
I love being on the sea.
Right? Lieutenant Dan.
Oh my god.
It was quiet.
It was quiet and peaceful and not one of my dad's men.
Not one of your dad's men what? It did give me time to think about my father and what he might think if he knew what I was doing.
Butch's point of view. I was back at Crayon's house punching the punching bag.
Shaniqua walked in and stopped and listened to me.
Fucking bastards are gonna pay for everything they did to Tenet on murder. Every single one of them if I have to.
Shaniqua sighed and walked in. Getting rid of some of your anger, huh?
Look, I know you want time. I want her too, but this isn't gonna help.
I know you want her, but I've known her longer. I need her to be back with me. You never even fucking met her.
I didn't mean that.
I know. And I know it's hard for you. Yes, it's true. I never met her, but I do need her with me. I don't argue that you want her more than me because it's probably true.
I'll try not to say things like that again.
Here, eat this.
Why?
To keep your strength up.
The most important thing is to rest a bit and eat so you don't wear out so fast.
Okay.
What's wrong?
I've just got a sore shoulder. It's from punching. It's from hitting the punching bag. Oh no.
Better.
Kyron. Tyne's gone. I was just at the docks and I saw her jump onto one of her father's boats. She murdered 6 guards on it and then sailed off.
This is worse than I thought. She's fleeing from the safety of here.
Why wouldn't she come home?
Reuben? Reuben sandwich? Tyne stopped thinking straight. Her memory's gone and she doesn't know who to turn to.
I should have never let her leave the safety of this home.
She left and no one could stop her, but we will get her back. Let's go.
I looked at Shaniqua and she had tears in her eyes.
Reuben sandwich came over.
We can work it out together, the 3 of us.
Between us, the KKK
Oh,
doesn't
that's a
stand
whole. Oh, sorry, that's a whole bit of dialogue. Super did not notice that.
Yeah.
Eh.
Oh well.
Eh.
Between us, the KKK doesn't stand a chance.
Okay, let's get her back.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know. Better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I